See, when you see something, I mentioned this before, when you see something directly, that's nirvitarak samadhi. That's God's world. That's Ishwar's world. But when you see something through a distortion, that is your personal world, that is Maya. Maya is illusion, right? How do illusions happen? Some type of distortion. So this, people ask, oh, are you saying this little piece of paper is Maya? No, this paper exists. Look at it. I can very much hold it. This is a part of Ishwar's world, which has its own level of satyata in it. But when I look at this paper through distortion, in my world, what's that distortion? I'll give you an example of a distortion. Let's say that, I have one. This thing is a part of Ishwar's world, right? It has its own satyata. Let's say I try to look at this with distortion. There's one candy left, and there's 5 people that are coughing. I look at this candy, what's the distortion? I want it. I hope I get that candy. You see the distortion there? Okay. You guys all live in houses, hopefully, wherever you live. Look at the house beside yours, your neighbor's house. Part of Ishwar's world, when you look at it, it's fine. But in your world, when you look at that house, what do you see? Oh, his garden is a little better than mine. Oh, his roof is a little higher than mine. But my paint job is better. I'm still okay. Oh, he got his driveway painted? Why does he always paint it every year? Is he trying to make it look better than everybody else's on the lawn? Or, I don't know, your relatives or your friend's house who you have a little bit of envy towards. It's just a house. It's part of God's world. But when you put your filter of the mind on, what's the filter? Rag, dvesh, and moh. How come his is better? How come God always gives? Why does he have a bigger house or she have a bigger house? Or the other way around. I'm so thankful to God that my house is better. So thankful to God that... I know you don't say the better part out loud, but inside it's there. So thankful to God for such grace that he's given. When do you say it? When it's better than somebody else. When it's worse, why doesn't God give me anything? Why don't you say it then? I'm so thankful for everything God's given me. Because what you don't say in that sentence is, I'm thankful to God that my house is better than that person's house. Otherwise, when you're thanking God in any circumstance, whether your house is better or not, you would say, I'm thankful to God for the house that I have. You see your distortion? You're not seeing the world as it actually is. You're seeing it through a distortion. That's your world. That's the Jeev's world. That's the world that causes pain. Not God's world, not Ishwar's world. So Savitarak Samadhi is when you can absorb into something, but there's distortion. Nirvitarak is when that distortion is gone too. Okay. Typically, distortion, the root of distortion is ego. You have lived as, from animals to humans for so long, you have learned to survive. You're always in self-preservation mode. This is the conundrum of being a human, because your natural tendencies make you want to be like an animal. You've been that way for so long. But your human abilities give you an option to go up and not be in your animalistic self-preservation mode. Your ego is coming from that preservation mode. Make sure you take care of yourself, otherwise someone's going to get it better. And if you're not the center of attention, who are you then? You're going to lose yourself. Self-preservation mode. That's where the ego... Interpretation functions. The filter is functioning when you are the center of your world. But you're not the center of the world. Look around you. When you were not born, the world was fine. When you're here, the world is also fine. And when you leave the planet, the world is also going to be just fine. You, in your personal world, are the center of it. But in God's world, you are not the center of the world. So interpretation, distortion, where is it coming from? Ego.